Guys, it is your boy Larry, aka Law, coming back at you today with a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been gone for a few weeks, but I've just been working, taking care of some things. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. Today, I'm coming back at you today with a brand new Pokemon video. So I was looking through and GameRant, I've been doing a lot of videos on GameRant recently, and GameRant just dropped a little article a couple hours ago talking about how they're going to be excluding some Pokemon. And from the brief thing that I read, it looks like Sheninja might not be in this game. I didn't fully read the article yet. I just got home not too long ago, so I just briefly looked through it, but pretty much we're going to be going through it together. But what I saw, like the second paragraph or so, was talking about Sheninja. So I think I don't like the fact that Sheninja might not be in this game because Sheninja is one of my favorite Pokemon. But as we go through it, we'll see why. We'll see why they're cutting out certain Pokemon. We'll see what they have to say about that. But before we start this video today, make sure you like and comment and subscribe to this video and turn on that notification bell as well. That way you're notified every time I drop a video, and that way you're up to snuff with everything that is going on. And it also helps the algorithm whenever you drop a like, a comment. Can't make you do whatever, can't make you do anything, but it does help me out. But without further ado, let's get into this article. So it starts off with saying, why Pokemon Scarlet and Violet omitting certain Pokemon could be a good thing. So it starts off with, despite the silence on the Pokemon Company's part about the sort of critters Gen 9 includes, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks end up seemingly revealing the entirety of the Paldea Pokedex alongside multiple returning Pocket Monsters. This is one of the year's biggest leaks in the gaming industry, as Pokemon fans had access to a full list of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Pokedex as early as late August. Over 2 months before launch, while there are many interesting features to Gen 9 games, a very important detail comes from the fact that a handful of Pokemon from the past generations won't make the cut, which might be a good thing. Well, we'll see. Depends on who you cut. One of the biggest controversies in recent times for Pokemon games has been was the Pokedex Cut from Pokemon Sword and Shield, which meant that only a few hundred existing critters returned to Gen 8 from past titles, compared to the usual national Pokedex including all of them. Even though this is normally not good news for many players, the benefit of cutting Pocket Monsters from a new game's Pokedex is that troublesome Pokemon can be temporarily removed to create a healthier environment, especially for competitive battles in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This could translate into not having Pokemon like Kralak, Shadow Rider, and Zayakin. I know I butchered that name wrong, but it's worth noting that it's worth noting the impact that more common creatures could have. So I see what's going on. So pretty much, people probably complained about battling Pokemon like Darkrai or Shedinja, or Pokemon that had incredibly high attack stats, or like had a move that was broken or things like that. People probably complained about that. And Gen 9's probably trying to resolve that situation. That way people could have more of a even playing field when they battle now. That way it's more fair. But then what's the point of making these Pokemon? Like, nobody just wants to use them all the time in single player. Like, yeah, they're cool, they're fun to have on your team, but if you can't use them in competitive play, like, I mean, yeah, that's what rules are for, you know what I mean? Like, you make a custom match and do what you need to do, that way you can make it fair. But just to get rid of them completely just for competitive, I don't know about that. I think they should continue what they're doing, have like a little room where they can make the rules and things like that, like, oh, no items, or this Pokemon isn't allowed here. But then if you want to do that, then have, the free room or whatever you want to do, like they've always done. But, people complain, and then, they try to make it fair for everybody. They continue saying, while cutting some Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet may be good, a great example comes from Sheninja. Like I was just saying, I briefly read through this and I saw that, which is probably one of the most problematic Pocket Monsters to add to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The reason being that its ability can cause all sorts of issues with terrestrializing, which is true, because say if you terrestrialize it and then it becomes a flying type, right? Like Sheninja's already a bug and ghost type, so say if it becomes, I'm just throwing something out there, like a flying and rock type, and it still has the ability Wonder Guard, and it can only be hit by super effective moves. There's nothing that can hurt that Pokemon. Water moves and stuff like that, and other rock moves, which actually, it's only a few things that be able to hit it. So depending on who you're battling, most of the time you're going to win. Like 90% of the time you're going to win if you have that. And then if you know how to plan it right, or if there's ways that you can actually, like, set up the proper type that you want when you terrestrialize, yeah, I can see that being some problems. Sheninja's signature ability is called Wonder Guard, and this is the only Pokemon currently available that has it, which makes it both powerful and an interesting case study for Pokemon games. Wonder Guard makes Sheninja take no damage from the non-super effective moves, meaning that only moves Sheninja is naturally weak to can damage it, and of course defeat it, considering it only has 1 HP. Not having Sheninja in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet could save players and the Pokemon Company itself a major headache, as hypothetically combinations of Sheninja using terrestrializing to become electric type and holding an air balloon could make it immune to damage, which is true. Leakers seem to agree on the fact that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet won't feature Smeargle either, a rather common pocket monster that proved to be extremely tricky in the past, to the point that single-handedly got a move banned and then nerfed in competitive battles. Now, Smeargle is the Pokemon that has the painted tail. It looks like an artist. Pretty much any move that you use, it has the ability to cop it. So I've been in competitive battles where I've seen Smeargles use Roar of Time, Spatial Rend, Heat Blast, things like that. So I mean, I get it. And if you copy the right moves, then you have a pretty broken Pokemon. Essentially, having a Smeargle is like Pokemon that can permanently keep a move after using Copycat. Like Lucario and certain other Pokemon can learn Copycat, but they can only it doesn't add it to their arsenal. It just gives them that ability to use whatever move that you just use. So yeah, it widens your variety, but you don't keep it. So I can see that too. But honestly, I would just leave them in. But let's continue. So this move was Dark Void, which I said earlier, like Darkrai. So Darkrai is the only Pokemon that can use Dark Void. Like that's Darkrai's signature. But a Smeargle can copy it. You can use Copycat to use it, and you have the chance to miss. But a Smeargle can permanently learn that move and keep that move. And I don't think that's an egg move either. Like I don't think any other Pokemon can learn that. Like that's Darkrai's signature, and Smeargle can just copy it. This move was Dark Void, which was the move that got banned. Darkrai's signature move, which had a chance to hit equal to 80% and could put to sleep both opposing Pokemon. So yeah, if you had like a doubles team, like that move would just hit the whole field and just knock all of those Pokemon out. Like yeah, you had a 20% chance to miss, but for the most part, that move was good. And then if you had like the Lens Scope, you weren't missing that. And then if you use something like Dream Eater, you would literally put Pokemon to sleep and just attack them and keep healing yourself. This was particularly powerful because Darkrai's mythical status prevented players to use it directly, whereas say Smeargle Sketch could copy Dark Void and learn it forever, use it in any battle, in great effect to no limitations. Smeargle's use of Sketch could have been quite troublesome in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet too, and not featuring this Pokemon is a good temporary solution. Yeah and no. Lastly, Incineroar proved to be an incredibly powerful asset in Pokemon Sword and Shield's competitive scene due to having Intimidate as its hidden ability and being able to learn the move Parting Shot, which reduces the target's attack stat by 1 stage and allows the user to switch Incineroar out. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet don't seem to feature past game starters in these base games, although some could be available via Pokemon Home, according to leakers. Not featuring Incineroar in Gen 9 would be a wise choice given its current kit, which would need another major patch to prevent Pokemon from being too disruptive. And that's pretty much it. And so it was a short article, but I see what they're trying to do with the whole competitive play, but this is what I think they should do. I think you should allow these Pokemon to be in the game, but when it comes to competitive play, I think you should set up rooms for like custom plays and things like that that'll, you can change the rules. We don't allow these items. You can't use these Pokemon or whatever, or even get more creative than that. Like Pokemon with these moves aren't allowed. Like that way, the people who just want to have fun can do that, but then the people who want to be competitive, not so much competitive, like competitive, like the serious ones who really don't care, like they just want to see how strong their Pokemon are to each other, you should have that too. I think that would be the best way to be fair when it comes to competitive play. Now, single player, I don't care, all the I think all the Pokemon should be available, because then also too, anybody who's new to Pokemon, who's able to play this game now and every Pokemon is in it, that's going to open that person's eyes to every Pokemon that's been out so far. It'll give them more to do. They can fill up the national Pokédex and things like that. They can make a wide variety of teams, chances to get more shinies, or get all the shinies or whatever. But when it comes to excluding Pokemon, I get what they're trying to do, but my overall thought for this is just make different rooms, you know what I mean? Like I said before, I'm not gonna go through it again, but just make different rooms. I think that's the best solution for this type of video. But guys, that was it so far. That was it, all I had today. It was a pretty short article, but like I said, it came out earlier today, and I just want to talk about that. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you liked it. Like I said, just, you know, do what you need to do to help out the algorithm. If you think any other Pokemon should be taken out of the game, or if you don't think any other Pokemon should be taken out of this game, let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Make sure you turn on that notification bell, and until next time, guys, Law is out. Peace.